Welcome to the Business Spotlight. Today we're joined by Steve Fincham. He's the director of Specialist Flooring Group, and he brings over 20 years of experience in the flooring industry. Steve, it's absolutely fantastic to have you on today. I'm going to dive right in if that's okay. My first question, tell us a little more about what it is that you do and how that business journey has been like up to date.
Oh, well, thanks for having us first, dear leader. Really pleased to be here. Started in 2003. Started at the very bottom, basically. My father-in-law took me on as basically a labourer. He was working for a flooring company. Didn't know what I wanted to do myself. Just said, look, come along, help me out. Before I knew it, I was tied into commitments, mortgages, stuff like that, learning the trade, and that had a real excitement for kind of going and seeing places. It's great. Every 6 months, you might be in a different building, different part of London or cities, and just get to see some amazing places and get to go into them. So really got a bug for just kind of knowing I wanted to be somewhere where I could go from place to place and do just try and help out and be in these lovely situations. So I was basically labouring, then started installing floors. I was doing that for around about 10 years. And then I had the opportunity to get onto the kind of site supervision side. So it was more dealing with the drawings and putting the guys to work and programming and stuff, and had a real enjoyment for that. And that led on to me doing about 5 years of contracts management at Reece Flooring, who were up in Hemel Hempstead. So my whole career of probably 17 years were with them. Really good time. Learned a lot of John Reece, who's the owner of Reece Flooring, one of the best guys in the industry. Really, really good to learn a lot of him, and he gave so much to me, as much as the rest of the team. It was like a big family there. Contracts managing was going well. Was doing that for a few years, doing some nice big developments all around London and stuff. And then had the opportunity. I come across a guy named Noel Brennan, who had his own kind of screed company for the last 11, 12 years. And he was like, he'd been diversifying and looking to move in different ways. He'd gone from just screeding on his own to having a team, then started going into underfloor heating and had his own underfloor heating division. We had a little bit of a chat, and we realised there was a little bit of a niche area where you go, do you know what, if we can really put it all together and offer the complete floor zone of anything from the slab up, we just take the whole stuff in-house, leading to doing the flooring. And I just thought, I thought there's an opportunity here for us to go into it. So I started working alongside Noel. I came into what was at the time Specialist Screed Flooring Solutions. Went up as their heading up their flooring division, grew that over the last 3 years, which led to us again then deciding that where the company was called Specialist Screed Flooring Solutions, it was really hindering us to a certain extent in being taken seriously as a flooring contractor. So we felt the need for a change, and said, okay, right, well, we'll set this new firm up, the Specialist Flooring Group. It incorporates all sections of that we can do, from our underfloor heating to the screeds to the dry systems, and just kind of run with that. So we've been running that now for about 18 months as the Flooring Group. Myself, there's 3 directors, myself, Noel, and Stuart. And I do think that me going through all the sections of the flooring trade, literally from sweeping floors up to running projects, has led me to have a real good understanding of how projects should run and what's kind of needed within the jobs and projects that we do.
Excellent, Steve. A really good journey there. So, what's been some of the biggest lessons you've learned in managing a business?
As much as in-house and probably dealing with people we work with, our clients and architects and stuff like that, it's definitely just one of the main key things, just communication, and wouldn't say being honest, but just making sure that everyone's aware at all sets of time as to what you're all working towards the same goal, whether it be there might be some design elements that need kind of looking at and changing, or why doesn't this work? What can we do to do it? I definitely think that balance of just communicating with people, again, even within our own team, people who work below me, with me, our installers, just really having that day-to-day basis and chats about just going that everyone knows that we're all striving towards the same end goal, and just trying to give the best to our clients, which obviously is the be-all. To keep them happy and engaging with us is what really brings us future works, and wanting them to keep coming back and using the Specialist Flooring Group.
Some really good learnings there from that experience. Um, what is the best advice that you would give to someone starting out in business?
Um, Definitely, obviously, it can be daunting and scary starting up on your own. You haven't got the fallback of someone else above you having to answer and make them key decisions. But it's definitely just having faith in yourself, just really believing in your own ability to be able to do it, and just go out there and just kind of reach for it. If you think you're good enough, I mean, it's a scary time for anyone at the moment in terms of trying to set up your own business and trying to do stuff. But even if you're experienced enough in what you're doing, I've always got the feel like, even with me coming and doing what I'm doing now, I always had the feeling that if I do it a year or 2 years, it doesn't work out, I've got enough experience and knowledge within the sector that I'll be able to go and get a job and do some stuff out there. But really wanting to forge on and push on. So again, just wanting to push on and wanting to really do stuff. But again, just communicating that, getting out there, having chats with not just the end users, but your suppliers and people you're working with, and just really trying to just be honest and forthgoing.
That's brilliant advice there. Thanks for sharing that, Steve. Um, what is a memorable hurdle that you had to overcome, and what have you learned from that?
Um, I definitely think it would go back to my management days on the when I was back at Reese Flooring. A few times when I come into management, and it's like anything, flooring's a real tough trade, because 9 times out of 10 you're coming in at the very end of the programming of the project. There's probably been time lost through weather scenarios and other bits and pieces earlier in the project, so you're kind of up against it from day one, trying to push on, get the job finished, still hit the program dates that they want you to, and it can be very tough. And I just remember a few times, really key, just being in some scenarios where I was so fixated with, it was really busy, we was up against it. And I remember speaking to my director at the time, who had a massive influence on how I tried to run my business and do stuff now. So shout out to Mark Baldwin if he does to manage to see this. Really taught me a lot. But yeah, just I remember getting so thought up with, well, we can't do this, we can't do that, and we need to do this. And he kind of came in with a calm-headed approach and was just, look, let's go away, we'll sit down, we'll have a coffee, we'll have a think about it. And then when we sat down and I managed to get away and have a little think, and we had a chat, and we go, okay, well, we can do this way, and that can do that, and can we move this to that? And I all of a sudden thought, and all the explanations he gave me were so simple, but I was so in the moment that I just couldn't see the wood through the trees. And just having that thing now, so you feel like you've got no time to just take a break and come away and do stuff. But by doing that, it really just opened my eyes to going, yeah, sometimes you're so close to that finish line that you just can't actually see it. And it sometimes takes that little step back to have a think, have a breathe, and just go, yeah, okay, right, I get it. We can do it. And I've really tried to take that forward into my stuff now. And because I've always been I'm a very punctual person. So when I've got time scales and bits and pieces, I really am just kind of like, don't want to be late, don't want to be letting people down. So once I kind of see that goal, that's all I kind of go with, and I'm just running for it. And all of a sudden it was just kind of like almost lost my way a little bit. But yeah, definitely just sometimes to just take a little bit of time, come away from it, get other people's perspectives on it, can sometimes open you up. Again, we don't all know the answers. I can't do it for myself. So leaning on people in and around you to help you achieve the same goal.
Yeah, oh, I absolutely love that. It's so inspiring to hear, and a great takeaway and lesson that you're sharing there with others. So thanks for that, Steve. Um, what is one thing you wish more people knew about your industry?
Um, oh, good question. I'm not too sure what to know more. I mean, obviously, there's a bit of a chat that goes around the flooring industry that is boring flooring. I mean, everyone just thinks of floors, and it's not as fun as some of the other trades, and you electricians and plumbers and bits and pieces. But there's some real in-depth scenarios into floors that you don't think about, in terms of types of flooring. Is it suitable for the purpose you're doing it? Is it gonna last? There's obviously floorings for domestic purposes, there's floors for industrial ones, and just kind of having that knowledge and just kind of understanding of going, okay, well, this can work, that can't work. Some people just think they could just get a bit of floor and throw it down, and there's so much more in terms of it, in terms of meeting like regulations, building stuff, and bits and pieces that you just go, actually, there's a whole vast world that even now after 20 years, I'll still come across stuff and go, oh, didn't know that, or didn't kind of really think about that aspect of it. So yeah, it's definitely got a lot of legs in flooring, and it's a great industry to be a part of. Takes you to amazing places. You get to see some great things, and even some of the designs, some of the floorings we do. Sometimes you look back at it and go, that looks amazing. Like we was a massive part of that building, how well it's ended up looking, and it's yeah, it's good to come back. It's especially with flooring. I mean, again, with your electricians and your plumbers and other people who do stuff, half the time their work doesn't even get seen. It's just a socket on the wall. You don't get to see it. Where we're a finishing trade, everyone will come in and see the work that you've done, and that's why you have to be very meticulous and have pride in how you finish the project, because everyone's going to see it.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Would you mind sharing maybe a memorable project, or you said you go to interesting places and really interesting flooring.
Yeah, I mean, I've done some brilliant ones over the years at my old company, from like working in the Treasury in London, going into some into the cabinet war rooms, done some bits at Tate Modern, and even now. So we've recently just done a 26,000 square meter university at Stratford on the waterfront for the University of Arts. Unbelievable building. I mean, every time I walk past it, I look at it and go, that was a good job. But again, they're not always the best jobs. Sometimes the hardest ones are the ones you look at and go, when you come back and go, cool, that was tough. But you look at the finished product and how much blood, sweat, and tears you put into it, and go, in the end, it was all worth it.
Yeah. Such an interesting job that you do. Um, what's the key to success for you, Steve?
I wouldn't say there's a key to success. I'd definitely say the key would just be hard work. And to be fair, as I said about my old boss, John Reese, when I had the conversation about I was coming out to do on my own, and he was like, look, it's very easy after that first year or two, and you think you've kind of cracked it and you're doing all right, but hard work's hard work. You just got to keep grinding and keep doing it. You can't rest on your laurels. You've got to grow as a person, grow as a company, and really just try and just kind of keep pushing to that next level. Not in terms of size or anything like that. I don't think that's massively key in anything. I think you really want to be having a decent work-life balance. So looking after it to make sure that I'm not overloading myself and bits and pieces, but working hard is really good. So in terms of, since I've come in here, first year it was pretty much just me on my own, running the jobs, pricing the jobs, trying to get everything in with a few guys. Then started growing a little bit more. So it's like, okay, what's the next step? What we're looking at? So, okay, it was then bringing an estimator. So I could take some relief off of me. I could then go out, run jobs, try win more jobs. They're doing the day-to-day stuff in the office. It's led to us now having 10, 12 guys just in the flooring division, 2 apprentices. So obviously it's a bit of a dying trade, flooring. No one really wants to go in and learn it and think about it. So while I've got some good older experienced floor layers before they're past their time, we've got 2, 3 apprentices now in and around them, learning the trade, learning off these old experienced fitters who have a wealth of knowledge that it would be criminal for us not to tap into before they're put out to pasture, so to speak.
Yeah, that's something I hear often about the trade industry is the new talent coming in. That's it's
And again,
it's quite
it's
a
all
struggle.
extremely different, especially in the say the construction industry and stuff, because kids these days also are used to their gadgets and bits and pieces. No one really thinks about going out and working with their hands and getting out on the tools. And it's not. Wouldn't say it's a very glamorous industry, and it's not something that you ever think it's been. But it's great to be in. It's great to be involved in, and it's definitely different. But the younger generation at the moment, it's just changing their focus and mindset a little bit to go, look, there's a job here for you, and it's worth it. And it's good. So yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Um, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received that you could pay forward to others?
Uh, I wouldn't say I've necessarily. Again, going back to the last one I said about being told that it's never over. You need to keep working hard, keep doing stuff. One thing I definitely learned off a few different people, again, is just honesty. Having them conversations. Sometimes they can be tough conversations. People don't want to hear might have to spend a bit more money, or they can't have this. But just making sure you're engaging with people and just trying to come up with scenarios and just seeing that it's not all can't be done by a textbook and what they say, but you can't just tell people they can't have stuff. You've got to understand their way of thinking, what you need to be doing. So I definitely think in engaging with people and just both working together, you're trying to help them achieve their goal of whether it be visually or what they need practically in terms of stuff, and just really just trying to work with them in terms of when it come down to projects and costings and stuff like that. There's always scenarios where you think you can just maybe bang a price in, and or you can just say this is what you've got to have, but actually trying to have them conversations and just realize that there's a two-way dialect going on, that you feel like you're trying to help them to achieve what they're after, because we've all got these goals that we need to be achieving, and we need to make sure that we are a vital part of that so that they come back to us and we keep working together on future projects. So yeah, communication is massive for me.
Yeah, that's a brilliant piece of advice there. If you could magically improve one area of your business right now, what would it be?
I mean, there's all sorts. I mean, it's a very tough time out there. I mean, with the way the global market is at the moment, there's so many obstacles that we're trying to overcome daily, whether it be trying to get stuff imported into the country and bits and pieces. I mean, I definitely think since Brexit, I mean, trying to get stuff actually into the country would be so much. It could be so much easier. Like trying to come over them bits and when you're trying to organise programs, you don't know if you're going to be able to get the products in time, and you can pre-plan as much as you want. But I wouldn't say there's anything magically you need to work at. We just got to hopefully just keep plugging on, really. But yeah.
Yeah, just keep plugging on. I think that's
Yeah.
good advice.
Yeah.
It's the best we can do when it's yeah, things like imports are out of our control, and yeah, we've just got to do the best we can with that.
Yeah, I mean, we try to keep it. I mean, we want to work with everyone we can work with, but obviously trying to keep stuff within the UK is great. It's brilliant, and we need it. But there's some bits that have to come out from other parts of Europe and even further abroad, and you kind of need to do it. But yeah, it can be difficult at times. Sometimes you see some stuff come through, and you know that when you're gonna have to order it, you're gonna go, oh, this is gonna be hard work. But that everyone's got to make a living. They're all trying to earn their own bits, and they've worked hard at getting these designs on specs. And it'd be easy for us to go, do you know what? We won't use that. We'll go with something from the UK. But they've worked hard at getting it. All we want to do is try and work with everyone we can, and just try and make sure that they felt that their hard work has paid off, and we can work with them, and hopefully it all comes to an ease.
Yeah, absolutely agree on that. What does the future hold? So what's there to look forward to?
So the future holds again, just I think a nice bit of growth, but controllable. Not looking to set the world alight, not looking to go out there and try and become the biggest company around or anything like that. But just decent, just trying to keep the guys, our operatives and the people we work with, busy, comfortable in the jobs they're doing, a happy workplace environment. So just really just trying to keep working with the people we're working with, our clients, the architects, the manufacturers. Just the more we engage and work with them, the more they want to work with us, and we just get a nice bit of controlled growth in the industry, just being taken seriously, and just kind of within our industry, just being a little bit of someone that you know that you can go to, and we are going to kind of be able to give a good service to everyone involved, and just be seen as someone that you go, do you know what, we like working with them. They're good people, good company. We can really do some good stuff together.
Yeah, excellent. And any news or anything you'd like to share to those that are watching about the business?
I suppose just purely again, like I said, that we're one of the few firms that can basically install the whole complete floor zone. So we've got our own in-house underfloor heat and design team. We can do all the U-value counts for any, obviously, what we need to do in these properties or buildings or whatever. And obviously just it kind of takes all that headache away from having a screeder having to liaise with a floor layer, or a floor layer having to worry about underfloor heating specifics. All them conversations that would normally happen between 3 or 4 people now just sits with us. We take all that headache off of people. We go, look, just tell us what the whole build up you need. We can take that on board. If it is to help with the design aspect, or what you need to do in terms of flooring, or something that might work better, just that we just want to work with people. We want to come in there and just basically keep people's mind at ease that they're going to get the project complete that they wanted, and that we're going to be able to deliver that for them.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, brilliant. Steve, this has been magical. Thanks so much for coming on and sharing your experiences. And there's some really great advice that you shared today. I'm so grateful that you came on today. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm glad.
Thank you.
I look forward to listening to it and seeing a few more. That's the ones I've seen so far have definitely been interesting.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Thanks so much, Steve.
Lovely. Thanks.